Hi everyone, welcome to Raw Vegan Reality Show. My name is Nicole and today I wanted to share with you how I make my once weekly juice, green juice. It tends to be green juice because I consume quite a lot of fruit, sweet, juicy fruit. So I like eating fruit whole, as whole fruit, so I can get enough fiber with it. And it's just enjoyable to me. So I only tend to juice for myself, only something that I wouldn't eat in my salads or on a daily basis as a whole fruit, a vegetable or leaf. So today I'm making a green juice from cavolo cabbage, cavolo nero cabbage, or otherwise known as black kale or Tuscan kale. I just looked it up, I didn't know that. Also, I'm going to use a whole bunch of parsley, which is here in my salad spinner, which I cleaned, spun and dried. I mean, I wouldn't normally dry it, but it literally sat on the counter since yesterday and it's almost starting to wilt, so I better juice it ASAP. I also have a bit of celery there, and I also have Swiss colored charge that has all these beautiful different colors of stems, which are just beautiful. They're pink and purple and green and all sorts, really bright, and the stems are quite juicy, so they help to move the fibrous bits in the juicer, which is quite good. I'm also using quite a bit of limes and lemons. You need to have citrus fruit for to keep your juice fresh and to avoid oxidation. I also peeled some peels of lemon, trying to avoid getting the rind, the sort of white rind with it too much, because it's quite bitter. So I've got quite a few of these. I'm going to put those in. And I'm using lemon, lime, ginger and pineapple for sweetness. Otherwise it just won't be very enjoyable to drink. So I tend to add a sweet fruit to my green juice so that it's palatable, because I'm not really keen on flavor of greens. This batch here, that's I'm going to juice that first. That's actually not for me, that's for my kids, and I normally make them either lemonade or lemonade cordial, and sometimes so I juice that in concentrated form, add loads of sugar to it and put it away in the fridge, and they just take a little bit, then put some sparkling water with it or regular water, and that just lasts them for a day or two. Today I'm going to make it slightly different, and I'm going to use natural fruit yeast water. So that's my mother fruit yeast water. It's just natural fruit yeast water made of grapes, sugar, one date I believe in there. And oh yeah, I put some herbs in it. I put hibiscus, and also I put something else in it. I believe I put some other botanical herb. Yeah, so I just got it out of the fridge just to show you. So you see how nice and bubbly it is, especially if you. So these gases, they form naturally by natural yeast from fruit, gathered from fruit and air, consuming sugar. So it eats sugar and creates these lovely bubbles. So you can really use it for anything. You can use it for drinks, you can use it for bread, you can use it for anything else. My families are, my husband and my two kids, they're omnivores, they eat everything. We try to keep it organic and healthy as possible, but at this point they're not on my path yet. Hopefully in the future they will get there, but at this point they eat everything. So I prepared lemonade from this yeast water 2 days ago, and we have some leftover, and you see how gassy it is, and if you open it, it pops a little bit, just like that. It smells lovely. It doesn't smell of this yeast water, it's already sort of incorporated all the flavors from lemon and mint, so it smells really lovely. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some of this and a little bit of that in the bottles I'm going to use for the lemonade, and then I'm going to juice mint, lime and lemon with a bit of lemon and waxed lemon rind. I'm going to put some sugar and top it up with my distilled water, and that will be the lemonade. And I mean, you know, processed sugar is not ideal. However, I'd rather them have processed sugar than all sorts of sweeteners and additives. And I mean, you read ingredients in the soda these days, and it's just mind-boggling. So I would rather them have cane sugar that is much healthier than anything else, or beet sugar that they put in, you know, genetically modified beet sugar they put in the all the confectionaries and drinks these days. So I think that's much healthier than anything else that's sold in the stores. So what I'll do, I'll go ahead and spread these leftovers out here and here. That will kickstart the fermentation of the new drink. I'll wash that in a minute, and then I'll add a bit of fresh fruit yeast water to add a bit of complexity to the flavor, just a little bit. I think I might feed it now, because I haven't fed it for a while and it's been in the fridge for a while, so I might feed it with sugar and water. And so it's 1 spoon of sugar every time you feed it, and just a little bit of distilled water, and I'll put it back in the fridge. I used this yeast water to start my sourdough starter, and it was an experiment which I heard about in one of the videos of, I don't remember YouTuber's name, I might mention it in the comments down below. But yeah, it was a very successful sourdough starter. I tried to make my bread for my family. I don't eat bread obviously myself, but I tried to make bread for them. So yeah, and I using this starter that I made. So basically there is a process to sourdough starter, but I kick-started it with this fruit yeast water, and it turned out to be really, really good. I'm actually having some bread fermenting in my bread maker. I'll show you. It's on the floor because my son took my desk for his 3D printing odyssey, and I've got my dehydrator there, so it's a bit of a mess, as you can see. So yeah, my bread maker is just here, and I've got a lovely white spelt and durum wheat bread with chia seeds, a bit of oil in there, salt, so it's vegan. Fermenting here, it rose quite a bit, and that will be sandwich bread for my kids to go to school. What I'll do in the end, I'm fermenting it in here. It's really hot today, so I don't really need to have the machine on. In winter it would be on, you know, about 27 degrees Celsius or so. It's risen really well. I'm so happy with it. It's amazing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this when it's fully risen, probably about that there. And I will heat the machine up. It only heats up to 150 degrees Celsius, which is about 50-60 degrees lower than it would be if I was cooking it in the oven, in a Dutch oven, in the regular fan-assisted oven. So you only really can make a sandwich bread in this machine, or any other bread machine for that matter. But it's really quick, you know, I don't need to knead it myself. It does all the work itself. So for sandwich bread, you know, it's much better alternative than, you know, store-bought bread. It's all organic. It's vegan, no preservatives, no other funky business. I use durum wheat because it's non-fortified. I personally don't buy fortified flour, and white spelt is not fortified as well. So, you know, if you are like me, and if you are raw vegan and your family members are not, you know, you can always help them to stay as healthy as they can, you know, even though they are not quite there yet. Okay, let's go back to our juicing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make kids juice first. They do have some of my green juice, I must say, but I'm just checking. Yeah, but not very often. My husband has my green juice in the evening, so I do share. It's not just for me. So I'm cutting limes and lemons in half to make sure there are no pips in there. I thought I would make a concentrate, like juice concentrate for them, like a cordial, but I think I'll just do a normal regular juice. You see how pretty the bubbles are, and then the natural sort of gases made by the yeast feeding on sugar. How cool is that? It's really pretty, and it's pink from all the hibiscus and grapes from there. Let me, so I'll do that first. I'll get my machine going. Add some leaves, mint leaves to it. Leaves are supposed to go first, and then you put heavier items on top, because they sort of push them down the chute a little bit easier, I can imagine. So what I'm going to do, I'll do half of the mint leaves. This mint is lovely and clean and stored in the fridge, in the bag and the bamboo tea towel. I'll do half or just 2/3 of mint now. Put the fruit in there and switch it on. Then I'll just peel the rest of the mint. I'll add the lemon peelings in now to just give it a bit of a zing, to make it nice and summery and zingy. It helps to have a little bin, like a little sort of rubbish bin on the table, not to have to go to your bin all the time. So yeah, so you see that's quite a good juicer. I'm quite impressed with it. I had a Sana juicer before, I had a Mega juicer before, and I must say I'm enjoying using it so much more. I even had the juicer attachment for my KitchenAid machine, but that I didn't enjoy that at all, so I returned that. So this works quite well. I'll get the juice out, refill the rest of my mint leaves and lemon, and prepare to juice it in. To put the juice in there. So this comes out quite dry. It's really lovely actually, very nice. It's mixing with mint obviously. So I'll start preparing for my juice whilst it's juicing. I already cut some pineapple. I've got one more pineapple to go, and I'll cut it in a minute and I'll show you how I cut it. So I think that's about it. I'll switch it off, I'll release the juice, I'll tip it out slightly to get it all out. That's enough. I have a bit of tissue here just to catch all the dribble. Makes it so much easier to tidy up later. So this is quite a strong juice at the moment. I'll try to share it half and half between the bottles. And then I will put some sugar in it. Quite a considerable amount of sugar, unfortunately. Oh, that had a bit more. Okay, that's done. And here goes the sugar, which the sugar doesn't go through that thingy there, so I will have to put it in with a little spoon. I think. Didn't think that through, to be honest. One. Oh wow, I'll make such a big mess in a minute. So I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 6, and then I'll top it up with distilled water. To the sort of not too much to the top, so it doesn't really burst. It might burst in the fridge, I don't know. I've never tried this both bottles. I'm just repurposing the store-bought water bottle, so hopefully it needs to be pretty tight for the gases not to escape. So I've closed it really tight, and I'm going to shake it to dissolve as much sugar as I can. And that will be staying on the counter, fermenting, ready to be, you know, had when kids come from school. I didn't put sugar here, did I? No, I don't think so. I'll go. How many spoons did I put? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spoons of sugar. I'll do another 1, 7, and I fill it up. Okay, close, and they can add some ice to it when they drink it. So if they put about 4 to 5 ice cubicles, the big ones we have, that will sort of thin it out a bit, and they won't have that much sugar. Okay, I'm done with the sugar, and I'll put my yeast water back in the fridge so it doesn't explode on me, because I just fed it and it's quite strong at the moment. I'll carry on with my juicing. So what I'll start with, I'll start putting parsley first. So what I do normally, I fill up this tray with whatever I'm using right now. So I put a bit of parsley here, a bit of everything, and I try to keep it sort of, put it everything gradually. I mix it up a bit, not just juice one bit and then the other, you know, like pineapple first or herbs first. So I try to mix it up as if I was having juice as it was coming out of the juicer. So I'll chop my chard. You sort of need to chop it quite in manageable pieces, because especially with this stringy bits like parsley. I notice parsley tends to get stuck in that little channel quite a bit because it's really stringy and it gets really dry. Oh, this is a little watery. I'm going to put this in a bin. So I'll put chard in first. Parsley, actually I would put parsley first. Oh yeah, lime and lemon. My daughter pointed out so that I should put lime and lemon first to prevent oxidation. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going just to push it all the way down so that my juice is nice and fresh. So a bit of parsley here, celery, maybe a few chunks of celery, and some ginger. Pineapple. Weigh it all down with pineapple. Okay, weigh it all down, weigh it all down. And let's go. So whilst it's going, I mean, you... oh, I forgot. I use a sieve as a secondary filter. I use this little baby sieve as a secondary filter. So what happens is that there is still a bit of fiber left. So what I do every so often, well, every time it gets to maximum here, and I get it out of this compartment, I sort of filter it out, and whatever's left in the sieve, I get rid of it, and then otherwise it makes it very difficult to filter, you know, the next amount of juice. So you see, it's going really, really fast, which is amazing. So whilst it's going, I'm preparing my next bit. Actually, I might, what I'm going to do, I might chop my parsley a little bit to avoid the, you see how it clumps up? You see, if you don't chop it, it just clumps up like that around this ogre that moves about. Or, it's not an ogre really, ogre is down there, but this is like a knife that chops everything if it's still quite big to go through the shoot. So if, with parsley, because it's so long and stringy, it's literally just wraps around this knife. So I'm going to be cutting the parsley next time. So let me top it up a little bit more with some more ginger. I'll just chop the whole bit now, whatever I'm using for this whole juice. I don't want to use too much ginger, so it's too strong. I mean, I like a bit of a kick, so I think I might put a bit more than I usually do. So I think I'll do all that bit there. So I'm going to put some of these. Where's my green cabbage? I lost my green cabbage. Oh, there it is. Oh my gosh. Here it is, my green cabbage. I knew that something was missing. Let me chop it up. Actually, it's just easier to cut it. I like using a plate to cut my sort of sweet things, because plates don't absorb all the flavor, like garlicky and oniony flavor from previous cutting, you know. So I like to, I was thinking to get a glass chopping board. Is it a thing? A glass chopping board? I don't know, I need to look into it. But at the moment I just use plates. So let's get this going. I might empty this juice. It's a beautifully looking juice. It smells gorgeous in here of lime and lemon and pineapple and ginger. Oh my god, it's amazing. So I'll close this down. So you see it's like a little bit of residue, very little at this point, very little. I might not even do anything about it. Normally I scrape it all off with a spatula and just dump it in the sink. But it's just too little to really do anything about it, to be honest. I need to prepare my bottles for the juice. So I'm going to be using this bottle. That's my repurposed bottle from Passata. Oh my god, it doesn't look very attractive, but I just choose whatever I can find, to be honest. What else? I have a plastic bottle, but I don't really like using plastic bottles, especially for acidic fruit. Like you know, there is lemon in there and lime, and yeah, I don't know. I don't really like using plastic altogether. I do sometimes, I must say, but I try not to if I have an opportunity to. I'm just washing my glass bottle at the moment from the previous batch of juice, and I'll put it set down to drain so that it's ready for me when I'm done with my juice. So okay, so that's, I might put some more, it's sort of clumping up a bit. It's not too bad. Let me put a bit of that. Let me put some celery just to give it a bit of a variation in texture, because I noticed juices like variation in texture. I used to buy a lot of apples for juicing, to make apple and mint juice for kids, and it's just, if the apples are really ripe, this machine doesn't really like them, and it just turns into just a smoothie really. So let's get this open. It's a beautiful green. Oh my god, it's beautiful. Full of chlorophyll and all the enzymes, and you can tell there is barely any fiber left behind, any pulp. I mean, it's barely anything there. It's really good. I'll just still check it in the sink so that it filters well next time. I normally like cleaning as I go along, so that it's not too much cleaning for me for afters. I know it sort of sounds a bit weird probably on the video, but that's why it's called a raw vegan reality show, because I just do what I do every day, and I just want to share it with you guys. If you find it entertaining to watch, or you know, or if it gives you some good ideas, or maybe, I don't know, it just gives you some information about this or that or the other. It would be great. It would be fantastic, really. I need to chop some more parsley, because that really that clogs this cutting mechanism. So I'll do it there. Oh, that will be difficult to transfer into the juicer, but we'll manage. Okay, we'll have to empty our juice in a minute. We don't want to go past this maximum line, because on this filter inside the juicer there are little holes in the bottom and larger holes on top. So obviously if you let it go further than that there, the juice will start getting more pulp in there. Because it will start being filtered from the you know, larger holes, which we don't really want, you know, for this recipe. So let's put, I think I might put another, lemon to keep it all nice and antioxidant, that sort of thing. Put a lot of cabbage. And yeah, let's do the cabbage, a bit more ginger, and some celery, and pineapple. Okay, well that will take me quite a bit to go through all of it. I will probably run out of pineapple, of my first pineapple at some point in a minute. And I will come back to show you how I cut my pineapple in case you find it in any way helpful. I think there's really just the only way to cut a pineapple. So, but yeah, I'll show you that. So see you in a minute. Okay, so I've juiced quite a bit of juice and I just wanted to show you because I mean I tried to spread out the ingredients equally between all the batches, but it doesn't always work out like that. So what I do, I get all my bottles ready. I normally have about that much juice. So I have about a liter of juice here. Is that a liter of it? It's about, yeah, it's 1 liter and a quarter of juice. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to spread this out into all the bottles. So I have sort of even amount of lemon and ginger and celery, because lemon, ginger and celery are sort of the strongest, not celery, sorry, lemon, ginger and parsley. They're sort of the strongest tasting ingredients. So you don't want a concentrated amount of them in one or bottle or the other. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to spread it all out between 3 bottles. I've got a bit more here. Where is my lovely sieve? Oh, it's just here. Let me put it back in there, empty the machine. And and I'm going to bring that one back on. Just get rid of all the leftover juice. And then I'm going to show you how I cut my pineapple. I'm always a little paranoid about pineapple, the sort of the green bits of pineapple, the planty grassy bits getting into my food, because I think if they do apply some chemicals, it would be in that bit. I don't know, it's just what I think. I might be completely wrong. So I twist it off before I do everything else. I wash it, twist it off, put it in the bin, and then I just chop this is quite a ripe pineapple. It might be a bit gone off here, but I don't really care much. So I'm going to chop these bits off, put them straight in the bin. Then I'm just, as thin as I can, I'll be just getting rid of the skin around. I do put the core, pineapple core, into my juice. I meant to look it up. I might get rid of this funky looking bit. I meant to look it up if the core has something in it that you don't really want to consume, which I wouldn't be surprised, especially if they're not organic pineapples. But I literally didn't do it yet, so I'm putting it in. So I'll just cut it in half. It's not such a large pineapple. And slit this like that, and then just like that. So that's how I cut my pineapple. So now I'm going to finish off all the veg that's left. I still have quite a bit here, and I have a bit here, and I'm going to juice it all, and that will be it. I mean, I can't wait to eat it. I do start eating every day at 12 o'clock midday. So I fast till 12 o'clock, give my body a break. I've been a bit naughty and I've been eating quite late, but because it's all raw and because it's all probably about 90% water, liquid. I don't really experience any side effects of that. Ideally, you want to finish eating quite early in the evening, but it just happens that I don't. So I leave it, I wake up and I drink some water, and because my distiller, especially when it's warm, it produces quite a warm sort of end result water. Normally I would put ice in it, but in the morning, because I want to, you know, my everything to, you know, come out from the last day, I do drink it warm, and it helps elimination quite a bit. So instead of, you know, so how some raw vegans say that you need to start eating quite early to help elimination, I find that warm-ish water, or even room temperature water, helps my elimination. And then I would start, if I wasn't filming, I was actually planning to eat the watermelon whilst I was filming, but I think it was a bit too ambitious. So now that I have the juice, I'll start my day with juice. I'll probably keep watermelon for a juicy snack later on. After my juice, I have some really ripe persimmons here, or Sharon fruit they call them, I believe. So I've got them really ripe. I'll just wash them, cut them in half, and eat them with a spoon. So I'll leave that one for later. If they were like this, I would peel it and eat it. I never eat the skin because it just seems too waxy to me. It's just not natural. It doesn't seem natural to eat it. So I'll eat that as my main sort of brunch. And then I might have a salad, or I have some raw hummus in the fridge. In the evening I have a large salad, and I have some dessert, which is normally a massive plate of mangoes with my raw banana pancakes, with some raspberries sprinkled on top. Sometimes I make, if I'm really sort of fancying, now mangoes are extremely sweet, and I bought my mangoes ages ago, so they're super ripe and beautiful, so they don't really need anything any extra sweetness. But I sometimes do make a caramel sauce from dates, a few cashews, vanilla and water, and just pour it over, not too much, just a few tablespoons, I think, and it just makes it absolutely, it's just an amazing dessert. So yeah, well, thank you for watching. I really didn't mean to make this video so long. I'm obviously really enjoying chatting with you guys, and if you don't get to the end of the video, I don't blame you. But yes, next time I'll be showing a recipe, finishing I will be shooting the rest of the video for my raw vegan burgers in a minute, because my raw vegan buns are here in the dehydrator. They've been dehydrating all night. They look quite good. I won't try it just yet. I might give them another, maybe. No, I think, well, there is some moisture here, or is it oil? I'm not sure, because I oiled slightly the sheets. They look quite good. They smell good. So yeah, they might be ready. So yeah, so if you're interested to see what other recipes I come up with, please check out what else I've got on my channel. Bye, and see you soon.